Thank you very much, Richard. So it is a story that has gone viral on social media. The musician arrested for breach of peace after playing music on a sidewalk in Neptune Beach. He was handcuffed after playing the national anthem on the 4th of July. Neptune Beach's police chief, David Sembach, is defending his department, insisting that it is his officers' jobs to keep the street and the sidewalks clear. So by now you have probably seen this video, certainly on our air and definitely on Facebook. Officers arrested Lane Pittman, took him to the police station, gave him a notice to appear when they say he refused to stop playing the Star-Spangled Banner on the sidewalk as the crowd blocked the street. Now, we did invite Chief Sembach to join us here on the morning show to get his department's side of the story. He declined to join us this morning. On Friday, though, he did post a statement on Facebook. He says that he wants to address the public backlash around the nation over this incident. Here is part of what the chief wrote, quote, "This case was never about someone playing the Star-Spangled Banner. What freedom-loving American would object to that? This case was about the police having the responsibility to keep roadways and sidewalks traversable and as safe as possible." He goes on to say that Mr. Pittman was the spark of the entire crowd gathering. We warned him initially to stop playing completely. The song was not the Star-Spangled Banner. While he was in the roadway, he then moved to the sidewalk and continued playing his amplified guitar despite our warning. That's an end quote from David Sembach. He ended his letter by wishing Pittman well with his future endeavors. Lane Pittman is joining us now this morning. I noticed that as I was reading that statement, you were nodding your head back and forth in complete disagreement. Let's talk a little bit about the facts, because that's one of the things that happens a little bit with Facebook is, you know, people start saying things, and I know that there were a couple of eyewitnesses there who have posted comments. When you initially were playing on In the Road, why were you playing In the Road with your guitar, with your amplifier? I mean, were you concerned, or did you realize that there would be an issue, obviously, with so many people stopping? Because that, you know, that's a very busy part of Neptune Beach.
It's very busy on the 4th of July because there's so many people going up and down that street. There's so many bicyclists, so many people walking around. It's just like, I don't know if you've ever been on First Street during the 4th. It's like it's one big party. And yeah, it's a good time, and I didn't think it would be an issue because, you know, there's no one driving down that street because it's just kind of an unwritten rule. You don't drive any car really down First Street during that day. So. And
there are some portions of it also that are blocked off to keep it from, because I remember way back in the day when you could drive straight from, of course, the lifeguard station all the way down, in fact, to Atlantic Beach. So you initially, though, when you first started playing, you weren't playing the national anthem in the street, correct?
I definitely was playing the national anthem.
Okay.
So yeah, I was. I mean, no disrespect to the chief or anything, but I was definitely playing this national anthem to begin with. And that's the only intention I had out there.
And then, okay, and then there was a conversation that you had with a police officer who you think really kind of basically said to you, it's okay if you keep playing, but you need to move to the sidewalk.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't have done it if he's told me not to. You know, that doesn't even make sense for me to move back to the sidewalk. You know, if you know, it wouldn't make sense for me to do that. You know, if I'm in the middle of the street, if I'm deliberately defying you, I would stay in the street. You know, we had a conversation where he said I couldn't play in the street, and I asked if I could move to the sidewalk, and he said yeah, so I did.
Obviously, you were shocked then when they take you over to the police car and they put you in handcuffs.
Yeah, that was a whole like whirlwind thing, roller coaster of emotions. That's what I've been saying. You know, I come from the most patriotic high of just, you know, playing the national anthem for all these people, and like I played it really well, and then all of a sudden I'm in the back of a cop car for, you know, something that I was told I could do, and yeah, that was crazy stuff.
So I talked to Chief Sembach actually on Friday when we invited him to join us here, you know, on the morning show this morning, knowing that you were going to be here, and he really is insistent upon the fact that he feels that this was something that you did really as a publicity stunt, because and we've done the story because you would like to become the next Jackson DeVille. How do you respond to that?
If you're going to call this a publicity stunt, you'd have to call my entire life a publicity stunt. I've done, you know, fun stuff like this, you know, since I can remember, you know, being at Fletcher, being, you know, running around in a grape suit, you know, for Purple Pride Day, being on the side of the street in a muscle outfit. If I wanted to make a publicity stunt for this, I would have been, you know, completely decked out in Jaguars apparel, gear, you know. I have a sign that says Lane Pittman for Jacksonville. It wasn't about that, you know. It was about being as purely patriotic as I possibly could on that day. It's not a publicity stunt.
If an officer had come up to you and said, listen, just looked you in the eyes and said, you need to stop playing or I'm going to have to arrest you, would you have stopped?
Absolutely. You know, he just said I couldn't play in the street, and I asked if I could move to the sidewalk, and you know, that's what I did. You know, I don't have any problem. You know, I still respect authority. You know, even after this whole incident, you know, I still have the utmost respect for officers and what they do. But yeah, if he told me not to do it, I wouldn't have done it. It's that easy. It's that simple. My parents raised me right. You know, they told me to, you know, if an officer tells you to do something, you just do it, you know.
Now, obviously, you have basically an arrest record at this point because you technically were arrested, but you were not driven downtown. You were giving something called a notice to appear, which means you have to go in front of a judge, which means that you have to now hire an attorney. You are wearing a shirt here.
That's right.
There's a group that's helping you now raise some money because you have to come up with attorney fees.
Yep, 8103 down there in Jacks Beach. Mark Braddock, he's a really straight-up dude. He put this shirt together, and they're actually selling them online today, and they'll be in store Tuesday. And he's giving me 50% of whatever he makes to help me out with like legal fees and stuff like that. So.
Are you worried that you won't be able to get this off your record, that this will follow you forever?
You know, there's always, you know, everyone's been telling me, oh, this should be a slam dunk, you know, whatever. But, you know, there's always, you know, the fact that I still have to go down to court, and it could stay on my record, so.
All right, Lane, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us.
Yes, ma'am.
And, of course, Lane's going to stay here because he's going to, in about 30 minutes, perform the national anthem for us live here on The Morning Show. And, of course, we do want to remind you for the police chief's entire statement that he made on Facebook, you can go to our Facebook page. Bruce?